What do you think?
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
You dead meat! Go ahead and laugh, you guys. If I ever find a little bastards that did this, they're dead meat.
Welcome to the Dead Meat Podcast, an extension of the YouTube channel Dead Meat. I'm James.
I'm Chelsea, and we're engaged, and we like to get scared together.
Gobble gobble, it's Thanksgiving time.
It's Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I got a Thanksgiving headband on.
Thanks, Alex.
You were apparently too good to wear it during your kill count that you just filmed. I realized, I don't know if I could say what it was or
It's
not.
Home Sweet Home.
Okay, I can say
No one
it's
cares.
Home Sweet Home.
Yeah.
Home Sweet Home rules pretty hard. It is great. It is a very it's one of those weird ones like Blood Rage where
It's not as weird as Blood
Rage. No, Blood Rage is in another league, but
Yeah.
it still has a little bit of that
Yeah.
spice.
For
that
sure.
I
I had
want.
fun doing it. It's a short episode, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving movies
That's it.
are weird,
Oh,
right?
except for now we have Pilgrim.
That's true. Yeah, we've done all of the Thanksgiving movies pretty much at this point. Yeah, we're talking about Pilgrim this week, which is it's a movie, but it's part of Hulu's series.
Yeah, it's a feature-length episode
Yeah.
of a anthological series on Hulu called Into the Dark, which I didn't know about this, which
I'd heard of it.
Okay.
But this was the one where this was the episode of it that had been making the rounds on Twitter where I saw people saying this is when they really hit their stride.
Okay, because I think
Yes.
this is the third episode of the second season of Into the Dark. So
Yeah.
there was a whole nother season ahead of this. Again, I feel bad for not knowing about it, but I guess I can't know about everything. Yeah, and I think it was smart of them to do a Thanksgiving episode just because, like we said, there's not too much
any
Thanksgiving horror.
And when you think about it, Thanksgiving should be not necessarily an easy holiday to make a horror about, but there's so much inherent to Thanksgiving that is creepy.
Yeah.
It's, being forced to spend time with your family, and it's almost like that thing every year where people say, okay, here's how to deal with your family talking politics at dinner, and here's how to deal with your shitty relatives that you have no choice but to hang out with. And it's also just the false past of Thanksgiving, how we kind of sanitize it.
Which
and
is all addressed a bit
exactly.
in this episode.
So yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get something like this a little sooner.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is the second episode of the second season.
Got it,
It's
okay.
two. And the series is made by Blumhouse Television,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't know was a thing. But so that means it's executive producer Jason Blum,
Mm-hmm.
among many other people. But just another credit to his name. And this episode was actually written by Marcus Dunstan and Noah Feinberg. I don't remember who Noah Feinberg is, but it was directed also by Marcus Dunstan and his buddy Patrick Melton. And those two dudes, though, they make a lot of horror stuff. So they started with Feast, which I have not seen.
Why do I know what that is?
It's probably come up in your research. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was like their starting movie. It got a few sequels, but then they did The Collector and The Collection.
Okay, all right.
Which
Yeah.
are fine. And then they took over the Saw series after Darren Lynn Bousman, so they did Saw 4, 5, 6, and 3D.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were also involved with the My Bloody Valentine 3D, like the remake of that. And I love Saw 5 and 6. Like, I really love those. It's the healthcare one is the sixth one.
I love the healthcare Saw movie.
And the fifth one is where it's the 5 people going through the traps, and it's like, oh, we should have worked together.
Oh, and they're all predatory lenders and shit. Right? Isn't one of them a predatory lender? They're
I can't remember.
There-
Oh, yeah, I
there's-
think so.
there's some politics
It's all
in that
about
one,
like
too.
an arson plot.
Yeah.
In the end, yeah.
And they realize they all could have lived.
Yeah, but I hate Saw 3D so
I do
much.
too.
It's one of my least favorite
Yeah.
horror movies. And I'm not a huge fan of the My Bloody Valentine 3D just because I feel like it's kind of mean. I don't know. So, but I'll say that this, I like this more than I expected to.
I had a fun time with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself.
It's a fucking weird thing.
Yeah.
And I like how weird it is.
Yeah.
The performances are great.
Yes,
The
everyone in
actors-
this is so good.
Yeah, so the lead is Rain Edwards playing Cody. Rain Edwards was in Hellfest. She was the friend who actually survives because they didn't want just one final girl in that So they have the friend survive too. And she was good in that, and she's great in this. And then her dad is fucking Kerr Smith from Final Destination and My Bloody Valentine 3D. It makes sense that he's in
Carter,
this.
you dick.
Carter, you dick.
Yeah.
He is the Dick Carter.
It's so fun. It's weird that now he's a dad in this of not even little kids.
They're like college age. Yeah, for sure. It's fun watching because like My Bloody Valentine 3D was 10 years ago. Final Destination was about 10 years before that. So you get to see him 20s, 30s, now 40s. It's fun. I'm glad he's still hanging with the horror genre.
Yeah, I always like seeing that. That's fun.
The mom, I don't know her, but she's in fucking Cobra Kai.
Oh, that's right. The Karate Kid TV show on
Yeah, the YouTube
YouTube Red
web
show.
series. Yeah.
I had no idea that existed.
We didn't until we watched Karate Kid for We Hate Movies.
Yeah.
And
Weird.
yep, I feel like Cobra Kai keeps popping up. Like that web series keeps popping up on my radar.
Yeah.
It's weird. But they're the family in this. And you want to explain the plot overall?
So, okay, basically we start with our main character, Cody. We see a little glimpse of her childhood, and we learn that her mom walked out on her and her dad when she was very little during Thanksgiving dinner. There was a big fight, and
that's a bummer.
mom left on Thanksgiving. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's never, you never want that to happen. And so we go to present day, and we see that her dad has remarried to, I forget
Anna?
what's Anna, yes. And now she's got a stepmom and a stepbrother. The little stepbrother is very cute.
Oh, yeah. Finn? Is he the little kid? Or no. Finn's the boyfriend. Tate is the
Tate,
kid.
yes, Tate. And immediately we sense that this is a very tense relationship. Cody's not super into her stepmom, at least. She loves Tate. She takes care of Tate.
Yeah.
And is a good big sister. But just adding to the tension. And this is why I think this was written very well and this was cast very well, because adding to the tension is the fact that Cody is mixed. Like, her mom was black, the dad's white, and the stepmom is white. And I mean super white. And Cody makes jokes about it too, when the mom has she has the HOA over, the homeowners association
Yeah.
over, which, God, that's my fucking nightmare.
HOA.
Yeah. Oh, God. So basically it's the group of people on your block that you have to pay a fee to, and they will tell you whether or not you're allowed to paint your house certain colors, is my understanding of an HOA.
And restrict your holiday decorations if they're too much.
Yes.
Because they don't want their places to look bad next to them.
I guess,
Aw.
yeah. Cody says something like, "Oh my God, I can smell the ranch from upstairs."
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it's definitely it's an undercurrent to this. It's definitely present. But I love that immediately we sense that there's tension there, and there's tension on a few different levels, which I really like.
Well, that's probably because they have this conflict between, like, Cody is talking about, like, the real past of Thanksgiving, whereas the stepmom, Anna, wants to celebrate the more sanitized version that we get taught, like, in grade school, which is, more nicer to, I guess, white people.
Something else to point out, too, is that this present day family, they are very well off. They're
yeah, it's
wealthy.
because of Kerr Smith and all his business.
He's always on his phone looking at stocks.
Yeah, stocks and international financial markets.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Him and fucking Mika from Paranormal Activity are similar dudes.
Sure.
And because they are wealthy, Anna can afford to host a interactive Thanksgiving thingy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We were debating this while we were watching the movie. I could 100% see this happening.
Well, she sells it as this is like a Thanksgiving party/celebration, and we're going to have some people come over, and they're going to be in character
Right.
as
Their living
pilgrims.
history. So if you've been
Yes.
to the Renaissance Fair, or if
Henry
you, and this-
Ford.
I was gonna say this is a Michigan reference, but
Yep.
Greenfield
Or,
Village.
yeah,
and,
Greenfield Village.
I think if you go places like Salem or East Coast, I feel like this is a thing is living history where you have people in character. They're like, "Come help me make toast, the old fashioned." That's the first thing that came to my mind because I did that as a kid. I
Yeah, well,
helped-
you, like,
you put
put
the
in the
toast
fire.
in the thing and you hold it in the fireplace and. So they're gonna have some pilgrims come over, which, by the way, this is a movie, and I had similar feelings during Midsummer, where I think I'd make it out okay because I would be super into the living history people coming
Yeah, all
over.
the HOA people are like, "This is so weird,"
is
and
so
we're like, "They're just
weird.
cosplayers who are in character."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we've seen this.
exactly.
But here's the thing: is she sells it as that it's a party with a. But then they get there. It's a dude pilgrim named Ethan
Mm-hmm.
and a woman named. Is it
Patience.
Patience? The
You're
actress
thinking of-
was
yes.
Charity in Ready or
Yeah,
Not.
it's so funny because
Yeah.
and literally when we reviewed Ready or Not for this podcast, the entire time I was just thinking, oh my God, Charity's my dream role. I just want to play like that bitchy rich wife who is mean and has like no moral compass. Like that's who I want to be. And then we're watching this and I'm like, I'd be so good at playing Patience. That's what I want to play. I want to play this cold pilgrim woman who maybe has some weird secrets lurking behind her eyes. And little did I know that it's the same actress.
Elise Levesque, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, she is awesome.
Yeah, she's great. And she is making her way through horror and taking all of my dream roles. I need to learn her secrets.
I know.
Yeah.
Should have her on the show.
Yeah, she's great. She plays this woman named Patience. It's funny because Patience and Charity could both be pilgrim names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they show up, and then Anna, the stepmom, is like, "Oh yeah, they're actually going to be staying with
They're
us
gonna
for
be
a few days."
living with us.
Which is like, I get over it quickly because the rest of it is so fun. But at that moment, I'm like, bullshit. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. You're not going to have fucking strangers playing characters, living in your house, sleeping in your bed so that what? They can teach you how to chop logs? I don't know. It was fucking weird, but I quickly got over it because of the rest of
but
the
that's
the
what
thing.
I'm saying is this is so
Yeah, you think it's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can 100% imagine the type of rich woman that her religion is goop, like the Gwyneth Paltrow
Well, yeah, okay.
goop. Like
Yeah.
she just is a goop devotee, and
She's a goop gal.
yeah, easily I could see this happening. She wants to teach her family to be grateful by spending a ton of money to have pilgrims come over and do a thing with them. But my favorite thing is that I think it's Patience who is saying, "Oh, things I do for fun, darning my husband's socks."
Yeah.
Which I would be like, "Fuck yeah, I'll help you darn socks."
I don't even know what darn means.
It's just like, so if you have a hole in your socks,
Mm-hmm.
you can't just sew the hole up because then you have weird shaped socks that don't fit. So you basically you're knitting like a patch in the
it's
socks.
patching.
Kind of, but a patch is fabric that you like patch and then you sew on the patch.
Oh, and then the darn is like a patch made of
Like
yarn?
sock material.
Oh.
Yeah. kind
Sounds
of.
still like a patch, but okay.
It's a patch. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
just. But I would darn the fuck out of socks.
I
when
got some socks that have holes in them. You
Yeah.
can darn those socks, dude.
I would honestly.
All
I would
right.
have so much like that's the thing is for me this would not turn into a horror film. I feel like I would be super into helping Patience with all of her needlework and shit.
And in case we haven't driven home, this is very stylized. The opening
Oh, yeah.
credits are two strippers away from being a Rob Zombie.
Yeah,
movie.
we were like, this is a Rob Zombie movie. We just need some titties and
Yeah.
this montage because it's got like found footage, kind of like stock
Archival
footage of
stuff.
weird old time Thanksgiving shit. And it's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, weird filters on everything. That is an issue I have with this. Is
The
it's
wide
a little
angles.
too much
It's-
the whole
yeah.
time.
It's a bit over edited.
Yes.
God, that HOA scene.
There's a scene where
Holy shit.
I don't know if you saw that scene around Oscar season from
Oh, yeah,
Bohemian
Bohemian
Rhapsody that
fucking
went around where
Rhapsody.
it was just like, how many edits can we cram into a scene? And there's a scene in here that really stuck out to me as suffering from just too much editing. And I always think of like Amadeus is one of my favorite movies, and there's a scene where they're giving Mozart feedback, and I think the emperor just goes, too many notes. And I'm just like, too many edits. Like, just take out some edits.
Yeah, because Anna's talking to her HOA friends who turn out to be mean girls and are like, she's
Course
trying
they
too
are.
hard. She I don't know what she's trying to do with all this. But during their conversation, that camera is jumping all over the goddamn room.
We
every
were cutting
second.
to every single person's reaction.
Oh,
every
man.
single
It's very Bohemian Rhapsody there.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
Of
so that
editing.
there's that because there's
And
also
it feels like a style choice.
Yes.
This isn't something I would blame on an editor. I think this is like a creative. I think this started at the top. Like,
Well,
we're keeping this.
Well, the thing is,
like
I think
this.
it's whoever made the creative decision, because maybe the editor was like, I'll edit it like this. But whereas with Bohemian Rhapsody, which was nominated for a best editing. Oh, it won best editing? God, and then did Green Room win best picture?
Yeah.
What the fuck that year?
Dude, yeah, that was the gas leak Oscars
for
for
sure. But with that, you could make the argument, I wasn't aware, but our buddy Greg, who's a professional editor,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, well, that scene, yeah, it's crazy, but it might have been the editor doing the best with what they had.
That's true.
You know, in that case.
That is-
I don't think that's the case here.
I don't know.
Because there's more of this all over the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, there's another edit going on where it gets split screen for a little bit.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it pushes into a split screen and then it's only just the one time.
But see, that's what I mean is to do a split screen for that. I think that's got to be a top of the food chain decision. If you're the director or whoever, you got to think, all right, we're going to shoot so this can be a split screen.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I do know that.
This is me getting back into, we've worked in too many post-production departments. We're
where it's
talking
just like
shop.
you get the footage
We're
and you're
talking
like,
shop.
but I will say that director Marcus Dunstan, too many wide angles, man.
Yes, the fisheye lenses. and
Holy
the-
shit. I can get it. I like a little stylization,
Yeah.
but this seemed without purpose.
There was a lot.
It's just so wide. Yeah, it's fisheye. It's
Yeah.
wide to the point where it's fisheye, where things are distorted around the edges, and it's
In scenes where there's not any dramatic reason, I don't think, for that to be going on.
yeah, and especially when you combine that with the constant cutting, like in that HOA scene, it can get a little nauseating.
Yeah.
It's a little disorienting.
Yeah.
And then there's some like swish pans and swish edits. Those I don't mind as much. But you know what? I would probably rather have this than something that's shot, super standard.
Oh, sure.
Back
this
and
is
forth.
trying something weird and fun, and I can't be too mad at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So it's Ethan and Patience are the two pilgrims that come over. And another thing I love, because we talked about how just by casting Cody as a black actress she's got the white dad and now white stepmom, white brother, so she feels like she's kind of an outsider. Even visually, we're like, oh, she feels like an outsider, and she's written to be that way. And I also love the way that serves you, because she is our main character and we are set up to trust her immediately. We are seeing everything through her eyes, and I like Cody a lot.
Yeah.
I think that also really serves the whole distrust we're meant to have for the pilgrims right away, because I'm thinking, okay, these pilgrims are showing up and they're already talking like it's the 1600s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, how realistic are we getting here? Because then they introduce themselves to Cody, and for a moment, I can't imagine not feeling this way watching this. You're thinking, okay, how in character are we about to be here? And luckily this does not go there ever.
I think the reason it doesn't is because the way Cody is written and performed, there wouldn't be a movie. As soon as Ethan's like referred to her as something
as a slur.
as a slur,
Like, okay,
she'd
bye,
shut that
we're
shit
out of
down,
here.
you
Yeah.
know?
But I like that is like that is used to evoke a reaction, because again, I don't think you can watch this introduction and not think for a second, oh my god, like they're gonna say something super racist, which they never do. And that,
but instead he goes to kiss her hand,
Yes.
which like is the opposite of what
the
you would
opposite of what you would
expect,
expect. Yeah, and
so
then
kind of like
therefore that doesn't become a thing during this movie, which I think is I don't think it needed to be. Again, I'm not the person to make that kind of decision on whether or not this was a good way to play that, but I think it is nice though that you get that tension and you still distrust them. Still, because again, we have Cody also saying throughout, like, we can't whitewash Thanksgiving. You know, we can't pretend like the history we teach in schools of Thanksgiving isn't racist.
And given their decision to not make the Pilgrims like fixate on Cody's race, I think that is a brilliant way to set that aside and make us stop wondering if it's going to come up that he goes to kiss her hand. You know, because as soon as he does that, you're like, oh, so they're not.
It's not a thing, and I'm glad it's not a thing.
I can focus on the rest of the story.
And also, this was made by a bunch of white people. I'm assuming that the dudes who made this are white.
I don't know the other people involved.
That's not the thing for them to make, you know.
Well, I don't know if they want to address how.
Sure. But I'm saying if that was the main point of this.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That would be a little weird. Yeah. But.
But there's a little bit more confusion for me here, because there's another character called Catherine. Okay. And she walks in and Anna is telling her, you don't have to do anything today. Just enjoy it. And also here, Patience is going to live with you. And so does Catherine work for Anna? Is she like
I think all it is Catherine is Finn's mom.
Yeah, so Finn is Cody's boyfriend.
I think literally all it is oh man, my stepdaughter is dating this kid whose mom is poor.
Yeah, because later she complains about not having a nicer house.
Substance abuse issues.
Yep.
And to someone like Anna, who is so focused on image, no, we need to fix this problem.
So here's a pilgrim.
So here's someone to help you so that I can be seen as having my stepdaughter is dating someone who is acceptable.
I see. Okay.
Right. That's how I interpreted it anyway.
Ethan is played by Peter Giles. Dude,
I fucking love Ethan.
Dude doesn't have a Wikipedia article, I looked at
He's incredible. He's so good in this.
Yeah, I looked at his IMDb. It seems as though most of his work has been TV spots and video game voices.
I'll have to look at what he's done.
It does appear.
If he's not in Skyrim, that's shocking to me, because he sounds like you walk into town. He's like, "Hello, I am part of the blah blah clan. Come do my side quest."
Well, we needed time to settle in and prepare after such a long journey.
He is listed as being cast as the Collector in an upcoming third Collector movie made by these guys.
That makes me want to see that, because I really like him.
You haven't seen
I've seen the first one.
Oh, you watched that with me?
That's like in the nightclub, and it's like
that's the second one, and that's only for like the first 10 minutes. So I think you probably just saw that scene.
One.
The first
Someone
one is
on
a
Twitter
home
said
invasion.
that I reminded them of the protagonist in the second one.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I'll take it.
I have not seen all of the second one. I've only seen that opening scene. I did watch the first one. It's fine. It's basically a Home Alone type movie where it's like a home invasion thing. A cat gets killed.
That sucks.
Makes me real sad.
I hate when cats die in horror movies, except Reanimator.
Yeah, Reanimator gets a pass.
Yeah.
So now we have our pilgrims here. They're living in these houses.
Yes, they are.
You know, they're there. And Ethan's making friends with Tate, because Tate's like a kid. How old is Tate, you think?
Tate? 8? Yeah, I was about to say 8 years old.
He's a little nerdy 8-year-old. He's a cute, adorable kid.
We do need to set up this is a crucial I realized I just did like Trump hands. I was like, this is a crucial thing that we missed. Before the pilgrims show up, before all this shit happens, the family's having dinner, and the dad, they're all fighting because it's a family dinner and they all hate each other a little bit. The dad says, okay, let's get the wishbone and we're gonna split the wishbone and make a wish.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Good call.
important. Yeah, that would have
That's
sucked
kind
if
of
we
the whole
missed.
thing.
It is. Yeah. By the way, you can't just take the wishbone out of the bird and
Yeah, you got real mad about this.
Yeah, because we would do that all the time growing
I've
up.
never broken a wishbone.
Really?
Yeah.
You got to dry it out first. We would stick it above the kitchen sink and you let it dry out for at least a few hours. It's got to be brittle so that when you break it, it snaps.
That makes sense, but he just takes it straight out the
He
bird.
does, and they do the wishbone, and Cody gets the bigger half of the wishbone so she can make a wish.
I wish this whole thing would backfire in her stupid face.
They end up having dinner together. Ethan's there. They're all having dinner. It's another tense dinner scene.
Oh, this is this got maybe the biggest laugh out of me.
Yeah, 'cause
Cody's
Cody-
delivery here.
Because Cody is still trying to talk about like real Thanksgiving, and Ethan and Anna are trying to shut it down. And Cody's like, "Well, speaking of people doing characters, can I stay over at my friend's house later?" She's hosting a Nazi.
Yeah, just that beat.
Yeah.
She's hosting
The
a
del-
Nazi. You know,
The delivery's very
her.
funny.
I can't quite put a finger on what makes it so funny, but it's really good.
And then I love Anna's response. We don't talk about Nazis.
We don't talk about Nazis at dinner.
Can I go to Rachel's for dinner tomorrow? They're hosting a Nazi.
By the way, every time we see Shane at dinner, Shane is the dad at dinner. He's got like his apps on.
He always has his tablet.
Stocks.
Yeah,
He loves stocks more than any woman in his
loves
life.
stocks. Man.
Honestly, I bet that's why his first wife left him.
right?
He just couldn't. Because
Well, she says like you don't listen to me or something.
Yeah.
In the flashbacks we get where they're arguing.
well, probably because back then that would have been, I don't know when ish, that like what, late 90s?
Yeah, late 90s. Yeah.
He's probably got to be on the phone asking about stocks.
Oh, sure. And I wonder if he was part of the tech bubble.
Oh, absolutely.
bubble burst for
him
him?
and Mika got swept up in that for real.
Yeah, so Cody has her boyfriend named Finn. He's the kind of boyfriend who will swing by through your window.
Yeah, he's Sam from Clarissa Explains It All. He'll just pop through the window.
He
And
also-
doesn't Billy do that in Scream?
Oh, yeah, for sure he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, with his greasy hair getting all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Finn doesn't have the best sense of American history because he's like, he references the Pilgrims being from the 1500s. And it's like, yep,
Yeah, he does.
bit early there,
well,
bud.
that's a little early, but that's okay.
Cody finds Ethan sitting in Tate's bed with him, telling him a bedtime story.
Bedtime, yeah, just normal things. Just living history. You're an actor in your kid's bed, telling them about the Mayflower.
Yeah.
My favorite is how the Pilgrims all tell stories about things that have happened to them, like they're real. He's like at dinner. Ethan is it's like one of those scenes where you cut in and someone's telling the punchline of their joke, and this one Ethan's just like, and then he tossed his innards into his bucket hat.
Oh, yeah, he does say, yeah, like his buckle hat. He mentions that.
Yeah. In Cody's bedroom too, by the way, she has a little crucifix in her
Oh, yeah.
in her bedside table. Is there weed in there?
I think it's a vape because
It's a vape. Oh, she's got a
pen.
jewel in there.
Something like that. Because Finn, he's got a little vape pen. But also, and I wanted to go back and look, but I forgot to. I think in Cody's desk drawer, I think I saw a vibrator in there when she like went to get the crucifix out. I think I just
I
saw
don't
a
know
vibrator
how you would have
next to
noticed.
it.
It's so split second.
Yeah.
Open.
But, I mean, where else are you going to put your vibrator?
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, when she finds Ethan chilling in Tate's bed with him, not in a weird way, he's just sitting there
No,
reading him a
he's
bedtime
sitting
story.
there, but it's still weird.
Yeah, sure, yeah, not in an extra weird way.
But all I could think of was that how Tate's bedroom is decorated with dinosaurs. And I just really wanted a scene of Ethan
yeah.
just what
are
are
these
these? Yeah, these demon lizards.
But she takes Ethan out in the hallway and is like, why are you telling them bedtime story? And this is the scene where Ethan kind of opens up to her a little bit and is like,
Yes.
I once had a family. And like, I get it, Miss Cody. And it's a scene where it's a very necessary scene because she's so suspicious of them right off the bat. She tells her boyfriend that it's weird they've not broken character once, even though he's been here a few days now. And this scene is really necessary because it's him getting her trust at least enough to like not just put an end to this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's her being convinced, oh, maybe he is a real guy and he is having a heart to heart with me.
It exhausting if the entire time they were super antagonistic toward each other, because we get so many scenes of her being like, yeah, whatever to them. So I like this little scene of like, look, I know you lost your mother. I lost my family too. And they have a little bit of a bond.
And he expresses gratitude towards her.
Yeah.
Which, as we will find out, is their whole thing.
Yes.
Which is a great fucking thing for this Thanksgiving horror.
Yes.
Because these pilgrims, as we'll come to see, want to make other people be grateful for their lives.
Other people grateful for their lives.
It's a very Jigsaw thing.
Yeah, Jigsaw. This is a very Jigsaw Thanksgiving. Hey, I want to talk about our sponsor this week, Bombas Socks.
Bombas!
And speaking of, we're doing an episode that's all about gratitude and being grateful, and Thanksgiving is all about, thinking about what you have. And I think it's good timing that we have Bombas Socks as a sponsor this week, because every time you buy a pair of socks from Bombas, they donate a pair
Oh, that's great.
to someone in need. So they'll donate to homeless shelters, because apparently socks are the #1 most requested clothing item in homeless shelters, which makes complete sense.
Yeah, because, people are always willing to throw their old shirts and pants or whatever there, but they probably don't think that to donate their socks.
Right. Yeah, socks are something we kind of take for granted, I think. It's something that, we should all be grateful that we can have. We have socks to wear.
It's like the stereotypical when you're a kid, oh, I got socks, but as like a gift for a holiday.
Yeah.
But much like broccoli, in my opinion, where it's the stereotypical, oh, I got broccoli. Broccoli is delicious, and socks are great.
I have fun Bombas socks that I'm wearing
What you
right
got?
now.
What you got?
They have a line of Sesame Street socks.
They do.
And I'm just, you can't. I'm wearing the Count socks, so you can see the little like.
I love the design. It's like minimalist.
He's got like the little monocle on it, and, stuff. And they're so freaking comfy. They have arch support in them, so I feel like the arches of my feet are being like hugged a little bit.
Great.
Yeah, they've got these new merino wool socks that are breathable, dry, and not itchy, which wintertime, that's what you need.
Yeah.
So if you want to try Bombas socks, you can save 20% on your first purchase when you go to bombas.com/deadmeat. And again, that's bombas.com/deadmeat to save 20%. And it's great. Like the idea that you buy a pair and they donate a pair is really, really nice. I think that's good timing for this with this episode.
You're going to need socks. Might as well get them right now from Bombas. Do a good thing.
Yeah.
And then you have socks, and so does
And
someone
then
else.
just be grateful for a moment that you have a pair of new socks. Like seriously.
Yeah.
Like that's an amazing thing to have. So go to bombas.com/deadmeat. Get yourself some socks.
Get those socks.
20% off. That's amazing.
Later, we see Patience at Catherine's house. Catherine is, again, the mom of the boyfriend. And Catherine is saying that, oh, I wish my house was nicer, which, it's not Cody's house. It's not this nice, giant mansion, but she had
We
some
see
nice...
the outside of it, and it's
not bad. Inside, she's got,
it's also
exposed wood beams.
a house.
Also, you have a house. And this is what Charity says to her, Patience.
Patience.
I will probably keep making that mistake.
It's fine.
I'm
They're
sorry.
both pilgrim names. It's
Exactly. But she's like, but you have a house to live in and endless food to eat.
Yeah.
Really
and she
comparing
says,
it.
do you understand what a miracle that is?
Yeah, and Catherine isn't grateful enough. She's like, I guess you're going to have to work hard on me. I'm a negative person. I'm a glass half empty kind of person. And I just love that this Thanksgiving horror thing is about these murderous pilgrims who are killing people who aren't grateful.
I do love that.
That's fucking great.
Yeah.
That's so good.
The whole kind of crux of this and the whole point of it, I enjoy a lot. The idea of terrifying people into being grateful. And it's something as much as the pilgrims are the villains in this, like any horror, it's fun to root for them a little bit and to see the point that they are making in cases like this.
Yeah,
and
it's you should be grateful.
You should be grateful if you have a home, if you have a bed to sleep in, I like to try and practice gratitude often. It's something that for me is very good for stress. It's good for anxiety, and it's good for it just helps put things into perspective. And even if I'm having, on my worst days, even just thinking I'm grateful that I have fingers. I'm grateful I have legs that I can walk with.
Yeah.
Just little things where you
take
know
it for granted.
you take it for granted, and I it is something that I think is very mentally healthy to practice.
Just a few days ago, I think maybe just yesterday, it hit me really hard randomly because I think I was listening to the news about Colombia is starting to have protests too after like Bolivia just had a whole bunch, and it hit me really hard where it was like I happened to be born here in the United States at this moment in time where I can just fucking talk about horror movies and that's my life. Whereas if I had been born in a different country, maybe my life would have been just fighting to get rights, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't have to do that. Wow, I'm lucky.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that. You
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
know? So Pilgrims got a point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Catherine's not buying into it, Patience says that she will make a herbal brew for her.
No, you never. If you're in a horror movie and someone makes an herbal brew, you don't ever drink that shit. All I could think of was the Tannis root from Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, old family recipe. I'm not going to tell you what's in it. Just drink it.
It's a little later that we see the consequences of it.
Yes.
But it ends up... Is it just we don't see her die? We just have... what's the boyfriend's name again? I keep calling him
Finn.
boyfriend. Finn, yeah. He comes home later and finds Patience upstairs in a room at a butter churning
it's a
thing.
butter. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure
What's in there?
happened
It's bloody.
here.
She's getting blood all over with a squish as she's like
Because
churning.
Finn finds this mom and like flips her over and she's all I was expecting to see like half
Half
her
her head
face
gone or
missing,
something,
but so
yeah.
I'm not sure what's in the butter churner.
Yeah, like what's in there, Patience?
Yeah.
I don't know, but the I believe the herbal thing is the cause of death here.
Yeah.
And then does she kill Finn right away?
Yeah, we see a pair of hands. It's not it's like a pair of dude hands.
Yeah, that's
grabs
right.
Finn.
And then it cuts back to Cody's house and Ethan's there, so that's the first indication of like, oh, there are other pilgrims too.
Oh, there's a bunch of other pilgrims.
But before that gets going, we do have more scenes at Cody's house where it's more scenes with Ethan and Tate, and it's when they're outside and he's teaching Tate a lesson because he finds Tate fucking with the dead
I liked
bird.
this whole scene a lot.
It's a great scene.
This
'cause
is
Tate's
a very good scene.
putting rocks around a dead bird, or maybe it's hurt. I think it's hurt because it moves. I couldn't tell.
I couldn't
if there was
tell
magic.
what was going on here. No, it was like a dying crow because it was
Yeah.
kind of twitching and it had like a hole. So I'm like, was it shot? I don't know what was happening here. Maybe I missed something, but there's a crow that's clearly hurt. It's dying, and Tate is putting a bunch of rocks in a circle around it so that bugs can't get to it and so that it can like.
That's what little me would have done.
I know.
I was such a little, yeah.
This little boy is so cute. He
So
reminded me
sweet.
of baby Luke from Hill House. I
yeah.
have such a weakness for little kids wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
But Ethan finds him and is like, oh, that's a nice thing to do. Here's some candy. And then Tate asks for more candy.
And of course, I'm just saying, I think it's so funny that of course Ethan, the type of candy he has
God, yeah.
is that fucking saltwater taffy that you get at any tourist town.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we were in Estes Park, there's a fudge shop and there's a taffy shop. You go to like any place like that, like Mackinac Island in Michigan, you
Yeah.
got fudge, you got taffy, or
It's just wax
Frankenmuth.
paper, no label.
Yeah,
just
it's
twist
just
it
the-
around.
yeah.
It's the shit when you're trick-or-treating that you just toss out as soon as you get it.
I love taffy. But
But
that's
yeah.
also the stuff where like you can't squeeze it and see if it's been opened or not.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's like that could have been opened and reclosed multiple times.
Sure.
Tate asks for a little more candy, and Ethan gives a.
Oh yeah,
parable?
it's the story. I don't know if
Is
it's
it a real one?
It is. Yeah, I've
Okay.
heard this before. I don't know if I've heard it with different animals though.
It's a crow and the bird.
Yes,
he says,
I
which
think
I'm like,
I've
crows are
heard
birds,
it
though.
with the like a dog and a bird.
Okay.
So but the story goes is it's whatever animal it is. You have so I think the one I heard growing up was the dog, but you have a crow who is eating some meat and looks up and sees a bird fly by with a rat in its mouth, which is a ton more food than the crow has. So the crow says, "Oh, I'm gonna fly after the bird and go get some," but he can't catch the bird. And by the time he gets back,
The meat's gone.
the meat's gone. He would have had to drop the meat to go fly after the bird, and the meat's gone.
So yeah, he tells Tate this, and Tate's like, "Is that what did the crow have in the beginning? Meat. What did he have at the end? Nothing. And because the crow didn't appreciate what he had.
Yeah,
And
he coveted his neighbor's possessions, essentially.
And so Ethan's like, if I didn't give you candy, what would you say? And Tate is like, I guess I'd be happy for the one I got. And Ethan's like, good boy.
Yes, Tate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's more candy. And then he speaks to the heavens and is like, see?
They can learn,
They
Father.
can learn.
They
I
can
didn't have
be-
to take everything away from this one.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is-
I loved that little hint of, oh, this is where we're going, where he teaches Tate and goes, I see, Father, I didn't have to take everything away.
Yeah, I love it that he like wants to let someone live, but they're just always so bad, except for Tate, the innocence of a child.
I do love a villain that really thinks they're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Oh, of
It's
course.
always an interesting thing to me. I mean, there's so many different subgenres of horror villains. You know, like Mindless Killer is fun, but I always like the righteous killer is really interesting to me.
Yeah. So Anna's having Ethan help her make over the house. They're replacing all their light bulbs with candles.
All the light bulbs with candles. And Master Ethan requires your cell phone because no cell phones in Pilgrim
Fuck
times.
that. Yeah. Give me your cell phones and laptops.
Yeah,
No,
so you
I'm
can't
good.
contact the cops.
Yeah, right.
Is what that means.
He also goes berry picking with Ethan and brings back berries, including
I have an issue with
yeah,
this.
because there are some red berries called Jerusalem berries that that Tate goes to eat, and Ethan slaps out of his hand. He's like, "Not the Jerusalem berries,
Not the
They're
ones with the
super-"
green stems.
Yeah.
They're poisonous. Yeah, the Jerusalem cherries.
Oh,
They're-
Jerusalem
He
cherries,
says, "Don't
I'm
eat
sorry.
those. They're super poisonous."
Okay, Ethan.
Well, so why did you bring them?
Yeah, why'd you pick him and bring him back? Because you were with Tate. It's not like Tate went and picked him by himself. Except maybe, I don't know.
No, they went together.
Yeah, they went together.
Because Cody says, "What the fuck? You let him
Yeah.
go off and pick berries," and Anna's like, "It's fine. He's back in one piece. Whatever." I could have understood the Jerusalem cherries thing if we saw Ethan use them at some point to poison somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reason for them being brought back. But as of right now, there's not. It's just
Yeah.
we happen to have a bunch of poison berries. I would have thought that while they were picking them,
He would have been.
he
like,
would be like,
don't pick
no,
those."
don't
Yeah.
pick these. These are poisonous.
Or then at this point in time, throws them away.
right.
Since they're poisonous berries.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to say that another indication of who Ethan is as a person is after Tate leaves that bird scene, he fucking stomps that bird's head.
Yes.
I guess to put it out of its misery,
I
it's
think
like
he-
twitching, you know.
Yeah, I think
But
he's-
like that's
It's still weird.
that's his, you know, it shows how his mindset. It's like, oh, this thing's in pain, I'll end it. And just like and no worries or second thoughts about it.
yeah.
So I wrote down here about the children vocalizing on the soundtrack. The soundtrack for this movie's kind of all over the place.
It's a little crazy.
And I wish it felt a little more cohesive. There's some gospel music during the crazy dinner scene at the end.
Yeah.
Which I like that.
I liked the gospel
It's
music,
super fucking
yeah.
weird. But then there's also almost back to back with it some like hard hitting electronic music,
Yes.
which again I like, but
But with everything else.
and then
lot.
those two pieces of music I like, but then more frequently throughout and before that final act, there's just like children vocalizing, and that I'm like, listen, I've heard this kind of music before. I've heard it a lot better. I just have been going over the Child's Play remake where Bear McCreary does a lot of that stuff, and it's fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
So like the children vocalizing in this one, I was like, do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. So right around here, Ethan says, "Oh, Cody, you've been practicing your prayers or your psalms or whatever, because he found the cross in her drawer, which
He's been
going through
drawer,
her
yeah.
stuff." And also he mentions, "Well, I hear noises coming from there at night," and so he knows that Finn's been visiting and she's been living in sin with her boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Then Patience shows up because she is moving back in because what do you know? Finn and his mom just took off. We don't know where they went.
Yeah, they just went on a bender and left.
Yeah.
Cody's like, that doesn't sound right. But Patience is here now.
Yeah.
And so are some other pilgrims, because
All the pilgrims moving.
Shane's going to have him help him build the garage.
I love that. Yeah, Shane just not giving a fuck about anything. And it's just like, yeah, they're going to build the garage. It's great.
It'll be a cool little workspace for me. Because Ethan's already, erected a shed in her backyard.
Yes.
It's super
It's
funny.
a creepy looking shed. It looks like something straight out of The Witch. I mean, my first thought when I saw that shed was, oh, that's a meat drying shed.
Oh, yeah, it definitely looks like that.
I thought that was going to come into play.
So, yeah, now there are more pilgrims coming in. And they all got big beards.
And
they're smoking pipes.
all
It's
I could
smoky.
think of was that scene in the beginning of The Hobbit where all the dwarves come over and just take over Bilbo's house. And Bilbo's like, oh my gosh, please stop touching my stuff. And they're just moving things around. And
You know what I was thinking of? This felt like a 17th century Mother.
yes.
This felt very Mother to me, just in how fucking weird and absurd it became, with a lot more people showing up out of nowhere, and then they're like nailing decorations into the wall and they're knocking shit over, and people are like, no, please, this is my home. Felt very Mother to me.
Yeah.
And God, I want to rewatch Mother.
I
man.
do too.
God, that movie was fucked up.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
But yeah, so now we got a whole bunch of pilgrims in here, and even Anna is starting to have second thoughts because she's seeing shit break,
yeah.
and
It's funny that she doesn't have an issue with all of this until they start breaking her stuff. And then she goes, okay, no, this is weird and it's going too far.
well, they also get concerned when the pilgrims won't let them know where Tate is.
Yeah, because we haven't seen Tate for a while and Cody either, but Cody at
Cody
least,
went over to
she went to
Finn's
Finn's
house.
house because she knows Patience's story's bullshit. So she's going to investigate what happened to her boyfriend.
See, I love Shane finally deciding, no, I'm going to make a stand. I want my son here, but it's too late. There are too many pilgrims in the house. And I think it's kind of a cut to black when they're doing a face down in the hallway. And it kind of ends there, and the final act begins where like the secret's out. There's no more ruse.
It gets crazy.
This is when it gets
Last third
crazy.
of this is so nutso.
Yeah, because the parents wind up in stocks
They
in
put
the
them in the
backyard.
stocks, yeah.
And what do they do to Shane?
They whip him.
Oh, they whip him. Yeah, because he's always staring into his electronic windows to nowhere.
Yes.
And not being grateful for his family. And then when Anna tries to defend him, they fucking brand her because she's too concerned about image and materialism, which they got a point.
Yeah, so she gets branded with a B. And I'm not sure what that if that's a thing, because all I could think of was blasphemy, or I'm not sure.
Yeah.
If that's a thing. Because like A is adultery, duh. We all know Scarlet
Scarlet
Letter.
Letter.
I don't know if that's like a system or not that they used back then. Like they had a whole alphabet, and what your
right.
sin was, you got branded
What'd
with.
you get branded with? Oh, with the G? Oh, man, you crosswalked or you jaywalked?
Yeah.
Uh,
You mean a J?
No, I mean, it could just be the G level offense.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But sure, J would have been a quicker joke without less work on your part. I'm
sure,
sorry.
sure.
So I think the pilgrims just go back inside and start preparing for dinner. And Cody comes back to the house and frees her parents from the
Yeah.
stock.
Well, she also just finds Finn dead.
yeah.
So
She knows that.
the boyfriend and the mom are dead.
Oh, I guess finding Finn dead is a pretty good justification for after she lets them out of the stocks, the big boy, the builder, because there's like a big boy pilgrim there, and in an earlier scene, someone was like, "Who are you?" I'm the builder.
Yeah, he's basically Mongo. Like
I'm the highwayman.
What are you building?
It's for the feast.
Who are you?
I'm the builder.
He attacks them, and the three members of the family all gang up and beat him up, and then fucking kill him.
Yes, they all murder him. It's funny because you even said, like, is this overkill?
Is this
I'm
going
like,
too
no,
far?
because they had them in stocks and were torturing them. I think if someone's got you restrained and is torturing you, you can kill them.
I mean, and she did see her boyfriend dead.
Yeah.
And he's a
think
big guy who, like,
it's
if they
probably
don't,
fine.
yeah.
I mean-
but it's so funny that they address it too, because right after he's dead,
I mean,
Shane's
the
like,
dad smashes his head with a rock, and then they go, "Oh
"Did
my,
we just murder?"
did we just murder?"
as a family.
Yeah, I like that a lot. We just murdered as a family.
Yeah, so they're together, but not for long because they try to get back into the house to save Tate, and they decide to go through the upstairs window because Cody has that open for Finn, and Anna gets through and then is like captured. And then Ethan tries to get through and is like knocked down. He's like hacked down. And then Patience comes at him with an axe.
Yeah.
And it's a first person axe swipe. And that's the last we see. Well, not the last we see of
Yeah,
Care,
but R.I.P. After Shane gets killed with an axe, that's when Cody gets put in the cucking stool.
Oh, that's
Yes.
right. Which is,
That's
I didn't
a
know
real
that
thing.
term.
Yes, the
but
cucking stool is real.
It's the Dunkawitch.
It is, yeah. I don't know if we talked about that on our torture episode, but I at least like encountered those in my research. And basically, all it is, filming this would have been fun. Actually, being in one, not so much. But it's
I don't know how fun. It probably sucked even to film it.
yeah.
Because the camera, it's like one of those cool camera positions where it's like a fixed.
It's the fear cam. I always think of
there you go.
Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, so it's like facing Cody as she's in this chair, and it's like fixed on it. So as it goes down with her, and I mean she's underwater. For a while.
So what it is if you imagine it's a big like
Lever.
crane. So think of like a seesaw.
Yeah.
And Cody is in a chair on one end of the seesaw, and the seesaw can rotate so that the pilgrims holding the other end can like lift up their end of the seesaw, and then Cody goes into the pool in the backyard where you're dunked underwater. And this is like this is a real like torture device that they would use on so-called witches, I believe, primarily.
It's fucked up. It's a great scene though, as Ethan tries to enact gratitude out of Cody, and eventually, he just accepts her gratitude after she keeps saying, "I'm grateful," and so with her spirit apparently broken, they take her in and
they all prepare dinner together.
Yeah, so Anna and Cody are tied to dinner chairs at the dinner table, and it's
they're
dinner
like
time.
they help them like mash berries and stuff.
Oh, that's
this is
right.
the whole thing.
They make
too.
them help prepare food, so Anna has to shuck the corn because I forget he yells at her like "shuck."
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, again, Ethan's actor.
Ethan
amazing.
is so good.
He's so good.
So, you best get to shucking.
And then Cody is tasked with mashing the berries.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is important.
And so there's a lot's going on right here. I think Anna gets a hold of some flour and like throws it into the candles. And
Oh yeah. What was this before or after the food is brought out?
This is before.
Really?
Yes, because they all get re-kidnapped and put back at the dinner table. It's a whole thing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, it's one of those.
There's a lot going on.
Because Cody lies to them and says that Tate got away. Because she finds Tate and is like hiding in this closet. So he's hiding this whole time. We thought he was going to come out at the end dressed
He's
as a
gonna be a
pilgrim.
little pilgrim,
be a
yeah.
little convert.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, not the case.
But basically, Cody, gives a nice speech about how she really is grateful. And I think they basically are, like, okay, she's learned her lesson. We're cool. And that's when she's able to make her move. And then, like, all hell breaks loose.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Throwing that flour into the fire was cool.
It was cool, yeah.
Oh, because she stabs Patience in the head.
Yes.
And it goes deep because she you think that's it for Patience, but no, she is able to pull it out, and it's like she's pulling it for so long. But she tells Ethan she's fine, but it's great because clearly she's affected by it. I love the way she plays it because it just like throws her off because later she goes to look for Tate and she is just like way crazier.
Yeah.
She's not the
stumbling
stone-faced.
around and stuff. So this is when, after all this, all chaos breaks loose, then everyone basically gets recaptured. Tate's still hiding in a closet.
Yeah.
And they are restrained at the now dining room table, and Ethan makes some speech about how, like, oh, your father, always provided for you, gave you this house and clothes, and I wrote it down, $65,000 a year school that Cody goes to.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot of money per year for school.
Yeah. And earlier, and I like that there are scenes before the pilgrims even get there that show how they're not grateful because we hear that Cody's been skipping class and they have a conversation like, I'm paying for this education. And it's never said you're not being grateful about it, but obviously that's the subtext, and it's great.
But then Ethan says, and now he will truly provide for all of us. And that's when it's
it's
coming.
coming.
They
You
lift
lift
up
that
the thing, the lid, and
Dumbwaiter, is that what that is?
No, the dumbwaiter's an elevator. I forget
yeah,
what
yeah.
the actual lid thing is called.
Yeah.
But and it's
It's his
Dad's head and his rib cage. And this scene was very homage to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They're both tied to chairs and
Yeah.
with a cannibal family.
And this is where the
essentially.
gospel music kicks into high gear, and like the pilgrims are all ripping apart
Yeah.
the body and eating, and they're making Anna and Cody eat some of Shane.
Yep.
It's fucked up. I like it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But then after a while, all the pilgrims start not feeling so great.
Because
And
they've been eating these berries.
they've been eating the Jerusalem cherries because that was the job Cody was given to mash up the berries. So she put Jerusalem cherries
Yeah,
in
little
there.
flashback shows her sneaking them in.
Yeah,
Which is fun.
And again, this is I just have an issue with
I know.
the mechanics of the cherries.
It's just
and
there for the plot.
It is.
Yeah.
They're just there to have her poison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine for me anyway.
Yeah, so basically they're all throwing up berries and blood probably, and
Yeah, and Patience is still looking around for Tate.
oh, she throws up a waterfall.
Because
of-
Ethan yells,
Ugh.
he's like, Patience, evacuate yourself.
Evacuate thyself.
Yeah. So she because he's forcing himself to throw it all up, and it's a bloody.
Oh, it's so gross.
I'll probably kill count this next year. This is
Yeah.
gonna be one where there's so much gore that I'm gonna have to
yeah.
cut out.
Yeah, it is pretty nasty, pretty
Mm-hmm.
gruesome. Oh, and I love that this whole part is Anna and Cody teaming up to fight these pilgrims, and we're hitting them with candlesticks and shit and like really fucking these people up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the poisoning kills all of them except for Ethan and Patience.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Patience gets killed, and the last pilgrim alive is Ethan, and he basically throws himself out a window and ends up in the backyard next to the pool. And so it's the three of them, it's Cody, Anna, and Tate are surrounding him, kind of looking down at him, and Cody just gives him the axe.
Yeah, he I think he tries to save himself with like, aren't you grateful now?
Yeah, like, see, I did what I did what you wanted me to do. All right, dude. We see his hand kind of open up as he's dying, and he's holding the half of the wishbone.
That's right, because before he dies, he says, "What did you wish for?" So it's like, yeah, did they come from magic?
I
don't
think
know.
so.
Yeah.
I think that's the implication, is that Cody wished for this, and yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I like the little bit of magic to it because
It's the perfect amount.
Yeah, it's
It's like a Krampus type thing.
It is. It's because when you think about it, you didn't have to have the wishbone at all.
At all.
You could just they're having dinner and everyone hates each other. And it's like, okay, well, we're going to have a nice Thanksgiving this year, and I'm going to teach you all to be grateful by having these pilgrims come over, and then it all goes to shit.
Yeah.
But I like the idea
magic
of-
makes it like they may actually be real pilgrims, because they were brought here by magic. So it's
Although, are they though? Because remember when they're having dinner and Ethan says, "Oh, I was just telling the story about how I caught a trout in the Atlantic Ocean," and
yeah.
Cody's like, "Trout are freshwater fish."
yeah, she's
Dumbass. So
who knows? I
Yeah.
like it. It's like Liar Liar, how there's just a wish is used for the plot. And that's it. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to explain it. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like just here, I think Anna says, "Oh, I read good reviews about them online," but
But they
Cody
can't really
looks and
find-
there's no. So I kind of like the mystery of where the fuck did these people
I
come
love it.
from? Because are they real pilgrims? Are they not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then end credits is fun. Super 8 footage of the cast fooling
That's-
around.
yeah.
Kerr Smith winking as he's the head at the.
I was
dinner
wondering
table.
if he was the. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
It-
cheaper to put
way
a hole
cheaper.
through the table than
Yeah.
making a fake head.
that looks good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in the credits, we saw that someone we went to school with was
Oh my
an
gosh.
associate producer.
Yes, associate producer Noor Haidar. I hope she's listening to this.
Is it confirmed? Was she the post producer?
Oh, I'm not sure, because associate producer in the credits usually
often.
implies the post-production producer, which is like so in post-production you have your team of editors, which is like your assistant editors and then your editors, and then there's the other half of post, which is like your they're the people who make sure that the editors get all the shit that they need. They're the kind of liaison between the editors and like the actual production itself. So that's what the
it's
associate
like PA coordinator, supervisor, and
associate producer.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Good job, Noor. Yeah. Way
Oh
to
yeah, we
go.
both were like, oh fuck.
I know. That's why I always watch
She
the credits.
on my senior project, she was my editor.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I was very
she
happy.
has always been in post. Mm-hmm. Great.
I know. Yay.
So yeah, I think it's a great Thanksgiving thing. I
Yeah.
love it. It's not perfect, but it's fun enough to definitely be worth a watch. It's like 80 minutes.
I mean, honestly, a lot of the times I'm in the mood for something that is. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
If it's trying to be out there and fun, like great, I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know, I'd often would rather have something like that than something that is very safe and is doing what's worked before.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I really like this. I'll try to check out more Into the Dark. If people do watch it and can recommend specific episodes, that would be helpful.
That would be cool.
Because there's a bunch of episodes right now, so I wouldn't know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I hope everyone's going to have a good Thanksgiving. This is coming out Tuesday, so in 2 days on Thanksgiving itself, I'll have the Home Sweet Home kill count.
Yes.
I know you're all fucking super excited about Home Sweet Home.
I'm so excited.
You
I
are.
hope
You're my
you
one.
include the clip of the one guy going, "I need a beer."
That's absolutely in the episode.
I'm
Don't
obsessed
worry.
with it. Yeah.
I need a beer.
Very good quotes in Home Sweet Home.
Yeah, good stuff. Oh, and the love interest from Hocus Pocus, Vanessa Shaw,
That's
is in it as a
right.
5-year-old. She's a 5-year-old little girl. in it.
Amazing. Yeah.
Great.
Cool.
I'm assuming you don't know what's next week yet.
Now, yeah, Thanksgiving and
figure it
stuff.
out, yeah.
I'll figure out an episode while I'm just in like a fugue state after eating a ton of food.
Fuck
That's
yeah.
when my best ideas happen.
Well, thanks everyone. Until next time, I'm James.
I'm Chelsea. Do you want to do the social medias?
I mean, they gotta fucking know at this point, right?
They're in the description.
Yeah.
DemiStore.com if you want merch.
Yeah. Plug that shit.
Okay.
Thanks everybody. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.